Hey everybody, this is Dan for Gaming on Cars. Now, if you're a car enthusiast like me and you haven't been living under a rock, this week was the 2018 Geneva Auto Show, and I'm going to talk about my favorite cars from the event. I'm going to do like a couple videos on each, talk about one just so I don't drone on and on and on and have like a 20-minute video. But you know what we're going to talk about first. It is the Ferrari 488 Pista, which was unveiled this week. I'm going to get some coffee and we're going to talk about it. Let's do it. Alright, so this video is about the Ferrari 488 Pista, which was released this week. Pista means track in Italian, like the Ferrari's test track is called Pista di Fiorano, but I'm going to say it's a mixture between the word pizza and pasta. Get it? Pista? Anyway, but this car falls in the long line of mid-engine V8 Ferraris, like the 360 Challenge, the 430 Scuderia, which that was my favorite name, I think, the Scuderia, because it means team in Ferrari. And then it was the 458 Speciale, which was so nice. But now, this car is the 488 Pista. So, the recipe for success for these type of cars is to add power and subtract some weight. A regular 488 GTB is 661 horsepower. This car is 711 horsepower. Okay, it's a twin turbo V8, which is the first turbo car of this series of the faster version of the mid-engine V8 car. But that's been the biggest jump in power between the regular car and the normal car. I think the 458 was like 583, and then the 458 Speciale was like 600, so that was like a little under 20, but this is 50 more horsepower. So this car will go 0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds, which is just, I can't even comprehend how fast that is. The one thing, this car was heavily based on the 488 GTE race car. I mean, this car has that engine, and this is a completely new engine compared to the normal GTB. And overall, I really like the styling. I think it's aggressive enough to be warrant that of the faster car. The front air duct, they call it an S duct. That's where all the air goes through the car, through the front bumper, and up and over the car. And even in the back, it's not an active aero wing, but there's a little spot where air can travel through, and the Ferrari logo, the Cavallini, is sort of floating there. I think that's the coolest detail of this car. You can actually see through the thing, and you can see the top of the horse there. I don't think they should call it the prancing horse anymore. They should be called the floating horse. How about that? Now, one of the sort of styling details that I wasn't crazy about on the GTB was the side scoop. It has the area cut out in the door, and that's where the air goes in. And there was like a little divider in between, like 2/3 up. Now this one is completely open. Now this is the main intake for air in the engine. It's not through the front too. I think the front intakes are to cool the brakes and then to help with your aerodynamics. But I like the look of the duct on the side of the car better. It's kind of like what the GT2 RS and the 720 does with the big scoop on the side. So I like that. Another cool thing is the silver one that was released has carbon fiber wheels, 100% carbon fiber. I saw so many guys like picking them up. It's just so light, so that adds to the weight savings. Now, one thing that's different about the engine is that they put the turbos farther away from the engine block to sort of help with noise, and there are actually tubes that pump the noise into the cabin. I mean, I can't imagine what the thing sounds like. Adding power and subtracting weight and adding noise, which was probably one of the biggest faults of the 488 GTB, was that it didn't sound the greatest. So I hope this has been addressed with the Pista. Now this car goes around the Pista di Fiorano Ferrari's track in 1 minute 21.5 seconds. It's like a second and a half faster than the 488 GTB, and honestly, it's within distance of the 812 Superfast, which is a V12 with 90 more horsepower. So this line of Ferrari engines is getting up there in the performance. It's not even that much slower than a LaFerrari, which was the top line performance for cars from Ferrari. So just the bump up in performance is going to be substantial. Which brings me to my next point. Is this car good enough to compete with the 720 and the GT2 RS and the Performante? And my answer is, I don't know. Honestly, this car is more of a competitor to the 570 LT, I'll call it, the faster version of the McLaren 570, which the 570 is faster than a 488 GTB. It just is. So when McLaren comes out with the LT version of the 570, I hope this car performs as well. I mean, it follows the trend of performance for Ferrari, so that in and of itself should be enough to warrant this type of car in a great way. But I don't think it's going to be as fast as a 720. The 720 kind of changed everybody's feelings on how fast a car can be. I know it's underrated for power, which has the same as this, but that car is closer to like 800 horsepower. So when the LT version of the 720 comes out, it's going to murder everybody. I mean, kill everybody. As far as the GT2 RS, I mean, it's the king of the ring. It's the fastest car that's ever gone around the Nürburgring, even faster than the 918. So what do you guys think? I think this car is a worthy successor to the 458 Speciale. I just don't know how it's going to compete against the competitors. McLaren, Lamborghini, and Porsche have certainly upped their game in the recent years, and I think Ferrari is not at the top anymore, so we'll see. I think it's worthy of the name though. So what do you guys think? I'll leave you with some beauty shots of the car, but leave me a comment and let me know what you think about this car. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you on the next one. See ya.